Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the routine checkup you've been putting off no longer says pre-diabetes. It says you've taken control. You've swapped the fear of complications for confidence in your body's ability to thrive. That transformation begins now, and you're in the driver's seat. Hit subscribe so you don't miss these vital health strategies, and let's dive into the top 5 natural ways to fight diabetes. Surprisingly simple. Why the battle matters. It's a scene repeated countless times. Someone, let's call him John, age 52, has spent decades working long hours, eating on the go, drinking coffee and sugary sodas, skipping meals or grabbing fast food lunches. Then one day his doctor says, "You're type 2. Suddenly the energy drops. The foot tingles begin. The worry about heart, kidney, and nerve damage kicks in. But John's is not a story of surrender. It becomes a story of change. Because the truth of type 2 diabetes is this. Yes, it's a serious metabolic condition, but it's also one where natural, simple habits have real power. Modern research shows that diet, movement, stress, sleep, and smart food choices can shift the trajectory. Not always overnight, but steadily. For instance, a high-fiber diet improves insulin sensitivity, and choosing whole foods slows glucose spikes. John decides, I'll try this. I want more than medication. I want lifestyle. And in doing so, he becomes your guide. Natural way to fight diabetes. Number 1, eat whole, high-fiber, low-refined foods. One of the most powerful levers in diabetes management is what you put on your plate. John starts by reviewing his meals. Instead of white bread, he chooses whole grain. Instead of sugar-laden snacks, he picks berries and nuts. He aims for 2 cups of dark leafy greens per day. Think spinach, kale, Swiss chard, which research suggests can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 30% in 3 weeks. He avoids refined carbs that traffic rapid glucose spikes, white bread, sugary beverages, desserts. Because the faster the food becomes sugar, the harder his pancreas and insulin receptors are asked to work. One summary says, refined carbs, white bread, sugary drinks, candy, pasta are the arch villains in the diabetic narrative. Practical steps. Breakfast. Oatmeal topped with cinnamon and chia seeds, fiber plus healthy fat. Lunch. Big plate of greens plus legumes, lentils or chickpeas, plus olive oil dressing. Snack. A small handful of almonds or walnuts rather than a sugary bar. Dinner. Whole grain, quinoa or brown rice, plus vegetables and a lean protein, fish or turkey. Why it works. High-fiber foods slow digestion, reduce the glucose surge, and improve insulin response. Healthy fats make meals more satiating, so you're less likely to overeat. Whole foods carry phytochemicals and nutrients that support overall metabolic health. F. Number 2. Move your body consistently. For John, this meant ditching the sedentary commute when possible. He begins with 30 minutes of brisk walking, 5 days a week, plus strength training twice a week. Why? Because exercise helps muscles use glucose and increases insulin sensitivity. Here's a vivid scene. After dinner each day, John grabs his walking shoes and heads out for 20 minutes. The rhythm of his steps becomes a reset button for his blood sugar. He notices fewer spikes, a clearer mind, better sleep. Practical steps. Post-meal walk. A brisk 10 to 15-minute walk after each big meal reduces blood sugar spikes. Strength training. Simple bodyweight exercises, push-ups, squats. Twice a week build muscle mass. Muscle acts like a glucose sink. Reduce sitting time. Every hour of sitting attempt 5 minutes of movement. Stretch, walk, stand. Why it works. Exercise helps clear glucose from the bloodstream, increases insulin sensitivity, improves circulation, and supports weight loss, a big driver in diabetes. Not only that, it boosts mood, energy, and long-term health. Number 3. Manage stress and sleep, the hidden giants. Many people underestimate how much stress and poor sleep sabotage blood sugar. John, working long hours and demanding job, realizes his cortisol is high, his sleep poor, and his results suffering. He decides to turn this around. Sleep. He commits to 7 to 8 hours per night, with consistent bedtime and wake-up. Studies show lack of sleep reduces insulin sensitivity and increases appetite for carb-rich foods. Stress. He begins a short daily practice of deep breathing or meditation, 5 to 10 minutes. Because when stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline surge, glucose is released from the liver and blood sugar rises. Practical steps. Bedtime routine. No heavy screens 30 minutes before bed. Cool room. Dark environment. Wind down. 5 minutes of 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale 4S. Hold 7S. Exhale 8S, or a guided meditation. Stress breaks. Midday pause. Walk outside, stretch. Focus on breathing for 2 to 3 minutes. Why it works. Sleeping well and managing stress keep hormonal balance aligned, which in turn supports glucose regulation and insulin function. When you're chronically stressed or sleep deprived, even the best diet and exercise habits struggle to compensate. Number 4, harness powerful food companions and herbs. John doesn't stop at greens and walks. He adds strategic super supports. These aren't magic cures, but they complement his foundational habits. Cinnamon. A sprinkle of Ceylon cinnamon daily may improve insulin sensitivity and delay gastric emptying, slowing the blood sugar rise after meal. Apple cider vinegar. ACV 1 to 2 tablespoons diluted in water before a carbohydrate-rich meal helps some people significantly reduce their fasting or post-meal glucose. Fenugreek seeds. John soaks 1 tablespoon of fenugreek seeds in water overnight and drinks in the morning. Traditional, affordable, with some clinical support. Gymnema sylvestra. Known in Ayurvedic tradition as a sugar destroyer, early evidence suggests it may support insulin secretion and reduce sugar cravings. Practical steps. In oatmeal or yogurt, add half a teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon. Before a carb-heavy meal, dilute 1 tablespoon ACV in a full glass of water. Rinse mouth after protect enamel. Morning ritual. Drink the soaked fenugreek water or use ground seed if preferred. Consider herbal support. Under guidance, use a standardized extract of Gymnema sylvestra, especially if sugar cravings are strong. Why it works. These foods/herbs support the metabolic system from multiple angles, slowing absorption, increasing insulin sensitivity, stimulating insulin release, reducing cravings. They don't replace diet or movement, but enhance. Number 5, lose weight and keep it off with smart habits. In John's case, he was carrying a spare 20 pounds. He realized the extra weight, especially around his waist, was making everything harder. Insulin resistance, inflammation, fatigue. Research strongly supports this. Lose even 5 to 10% of body weight can significantly improve blood sugar control. Practical steps. Use plate method. Half the plate veggies, 1/4 lean protein, 1/4 whole grains or legumes. Keep a food tracker or journal for a few days. Tracking builds awareness. Focus on progress, not perfection. Aim for 1 kilogram per month weight loss rather than rapid crash diet. Celebrate non-scale wins. Improve sleep, reduce cravings, lower blood sugar readings. Why it works. Losing fat, especially visceral fat, lowers insulin resistance, reduces inflammation, improves metabolic health. When you help your body carry less load, it works better. To turn habits into transformation, John sets a 90-day plan. You can follow a similar framework. Week 1 to 4. Swap 2 processed meals for whole food alternatives. Start walking 20 minutes a day after dinner. Add half a teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon to morning oatmeal. Bedtime routine. No screens after 9:30 p.m. Aim for 7 to 8 hours. Week 5 to 8. Strength training twice a week, bodyweight exercises. Experiment with ACV before 1 carb-heavy meal. Reduce sugary drinks to 1 a week max. Move to water/unsweetened tea. Monitor waist circumference and how clothes feel. Week 9 to 12. Review results. Fasting glucose, post-meal spike, energy levels. Introduce fenugreek water each morning. Plan social meals ahead. Choose whole food restaurants. Avoid buffets. Reevaluate movement. Increase walk to 30 minutes. Maybe add weekend hike or swim. At the end of 90 days, John doesn't expect cure, especially if he's already on medication or has long-standing diabetes. But he expects meaningful change, better lab numbers, more energy, fewer symptoms, more control, and that shift feels exhilarating. 8. The science check and what to watch. It's crucial to say up front, These natural strategies do not replace medical advice, insulin, tablets, or the guidance of your endocrinologist or diabetes nurse. If you're on medication, any changes should be supervised by your healthcare team. Because as habits improve, your medication dose might need adjustment to avoid low blood sugar, hypoglycemia. What the research says: whole food, high fiber diets and improved lifestyle reduce diabetes risk and help management. Ceylon cinnamon, ACV, fenugreek, and gymnema show promise, but aren't guaranteed cures. They are adjuncts. Stress/sleep/weight/movement are robust, foundational pillars, not optional extras. Without them, herbs alone won't move the needle. Many people share powerful testimonials, but personal results vary. For example, I've been dealing with type 2 diabetes for a couple years now. I started an hour of cardio every morning, cut out all white carbs. I'm down to one metformin tablet a day. It would be amazing if I could manage this through diet and exercise alone. What to watch/monitor: regular blood glucose readings, fasting post-meal. Keep a log.HbA1c every 3 to 6 months to track longer-term blood sugar control. Weight and waist circumference as visual/physical markers. Medication side effects: if you're lowering your carbs, increasing activity, and your meds stay the same, you may risk hypoglycemia. Doctor check essential nutrient sufficiency. When you change diet, make sure you're still getting enough protein, healthy fats, micronutrients, sustainability. The goal is habits you can live with for decades, not quick fixes you abandon. John's story doesn't end in a dramatic, turn my life around overnight moment. Instead, it ends in consistency, progress, and regained confidence. By month 3, he's eating better, moving more, sleeping more soundly, shedding weight, relying less on snacks, feeling less tethered to the fear of what will happen next. One morning, he takes his sneakers out again, laces them up, and realizes, I haven't checked my fasting number lately, but I just feel stronger. That feeling is fuel, and that feeling is what your audience is seeking. So here's your call to action. Pick one habit from the 5 we covered today. Write it down. Share it in the comments of your next video. Make it public and commit, because momentum builds through action. These 5 natural ways: whole foods and fiber, movement, sleep and stress, food/herbal supports, weight loss habit, are your toolkit. Use them with intention. Check in on your body. Adjust as you go. You don't have to wait for a perfect day to start. You start today. Thanks for being here. Let's build a healthier tomorrow together.